There are people who borrow light from the sun, and then there are those who lend it. Aunt Sherry never borrowed. She burned, bright, before Dawn knew what a flame was. You'd think the sun was her apprentice, shadowing her grace, trying to mimic her rhythm as she stitched joy with bare, blistered fingers, threading love through the torn seams of everybody else's day. And I saw her. Not just in her smile that cracked open 1,000 storms and melted sorrow like morning dew, but in the silence behind it. The stillness, where the real work lived. I saw her before I had the words to name that kind of love. Some wells don't echo, they listen, and from those depths, where no bucket dares lower, springs the kind of knowing you can only feel when everything else goes quiet. Aunt Sherry was that well, always there, still, unseen, yet bursting from within. She carved joy from thin air, built memory from whisper, and laid out entire summers, like secret blueprints of heaven, no child ever saw being drafted. While we were chasing waves at Shipwreck Island, she was taming the tides. She'd already packed the laughs, iced the drinks, tuned the winds just right, a symphony of hidden labor so smooth it looked like magic. But it wasn't magic, it was love. Love dressed as invisible effort. Love that never needed applause. Love that built without being seen building. I always saw her the way lighthouses see, not by looking outward but inward, guiding ships. Not with noise, but with presence. She didn't need to speak to be heard. Her energy moved the furniture in your spirit without touching a thing. Even sorrow lost its grip when she walked in, because Aunt Sherry wasn't just light. She was the source it drank from. People say, she lit up the room. But what they miss is the filament of her soul was spun from threads we'll never fully name, because real love isn't loud, it hums, and the right hearts tune in. I did. And I do, still. She came as a package, gift-wrapped with joy, tied tight with triplets, Bubba, Lance, and Tammy. And Jeff, the wild card, a joker with a horn that blew through town, like a stuck trumpet of chaos and laughter. I remember that horn. God, I sank into that seat, but Jeff didn't. He grinned like the devil himself, like embarrassment was a gift, and he knew I'd open it one day and find joy inside. I did, Jeff. I see you, cuz. And Bubba and Lance, a spitball saga of brotherly brawls that looked like war, but smelled like love. They could spit in fury with hand grenades, but if someone else tried to throw shade, they'd stand shoulder to shoulder and fight back as one. That's family. I see you both like a lit candle that sees its soot rise from its smoke. It's all love. Tammy the firecracker, the quiet current under the boyish storm. She didn't shout, she didn't need to. Her silence thundered when it was time. She held her own, not by force, but by knowing when the noise wasn't worth the voice. I see you, Tammy, I see all of you, that seeing from the well rooted in love. Because Aunt Sherry raised a house of light, and every wall, every echo, every memory bears her signature flame. You never saw her build it, but oh, you lived in what she built. Every laugh, every meal, every towel folded, every firework timed just right, that was her. Behind every memory was a map. She folded in silence, charted in love, and never showed you. Because real architects don't draw attention, they draw futures. She built ours without bricks, without blueprints, just heart. And none of us would be who we are if she hadn't. She didn't raise children. She raised joy, she raised warriors, she raised us to see the unseen by being the unseen that saw us first. Wrap your skull around that. I did. Let the record be corrected. The sun follows her. It is her shadow and it runs late, because Aunt Sherry, she didn't just give light, she gave sight. To see the world, not as it is, but as it could be, when love is the law, and joy is just a gift, with no IOU attached. This world tries to name people like her, selfless, kind, special, but those words are nothing but flat shoes, trying to walk her mountain. The truth? She is the unseen engine that powers the visible love we all take for granted. She is the silent well that speaks through presence, not performance. And I know this because I've drunk from that well. I carry her fingerprint in the very marrow of my becoming. And if love had a name, a home, a scent, a sound. It would smell like Aunt Sherry's kitchen, sound like her laughter, feel like Shipwreck Island, and look like a light too bright for the sun to mimic. Here's the part most will miss. We live in a world built by the unseen. Love does its finest work off stage. And Aunt Sherry, she was the playwright, the set designer, the lighting crew, while we played out joy on her sacred stage. So if you ever feel light and don't know why, check the well, because someone like her loved you in ways you never saw but always felt. And the greatest truth I can offer is this: she didn't need the sun to exist. The sun needed her for its existence. And from the world I see, that's not backwards. That's just how love works, when it's real. I am CMJ.